is Cecilia Betancourt, and this is Lab 1 for General Chemistry 2. It is March 3rd, and the lab is for colligative properties. So what we're going to need for the lab is a well plate, which we have in here, a stopwatch, which I use my phone just because it seems more accurate. Also, we're also going to need a beaker, a thermometer, rubber bands, and a bowl, a little glass bowl, and also some salt water, or salt for the water. After that, we are going to get started with the experiment. But first, let's go ahead and see what colligative properties are. Colligative properties are the vapor pressure lowering, boiling point elevation, freezing point depression, and osmotic pressure. So both of these experiments are going to demonstrate how colligative properties are affected by certain situations. With the semipermeable membrane, it's going to display osmotic pressure, and then with the raw egg, it's going to show us vapor pressure lowering. So I don't have my egg anymore, basically because I didn't know I had to keep the video going, to be honest. But I do have the little membrane, and as you can see here, the little tubing has been filled with water, so diffusion has happened. And basically what we did for that is just, it was a 2-day lab, so you had to wait and kind of just observe and see what happened. Diffusion does take time. But anyway, with the egg, what we did is we submerged it in water and took the temperature, and we did this every 30 seconds until we got a consecutive reading, or temperature reading, 5 times in a row. Once we did that, then we took it out and decided that was our data. From the data, we made a graph to see how basically how the data we plotted on a curve to just further demonstrate what was going on. I do think, however, I made a couple mistakes because I didn't know the egg was extremely squishy, and I'm not sure if that was really supposed to happen, to that effect anyway. And then also, basically that's all we had to do. It was kind of just a wait and see lab. There was not a lot of difficulty with it, just had to kind of understand the relationships of colligative properties and how temperature and pressure do affect those. So what else do we have? Oh, sorry, I didn't even say this. We also used Cairo syrup. I'm not sure what that had an effect on. Oh, and just household vinegar. I'm sure these were just a solvent for it, or the Cairo syrup was solute and the vinegar was a solute, or solvent, sorry. But those were just probably non-volatile substances that we could have used that wouldn't really have affected the outcome of the data. A very important factor is, though, that our egg was not cracked, so it was perfectly intact. And we periodically checked on the osmotic pressure lab with the membrane and the rubber bands. We periodically checked on that about every 30 minutes, just to make sure nothing was going wrong. So that was our labs. We discovered that basically salt has a lower freezing point, and that's what colligative properties taught us. So